Hello, I am Kodili-nye, the son of the wonderful. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your geographical location and your time zone. We are going to discuss about the road, how to build all the city roads and streets in Anambra State, in Anibo, in our homeland. How we can deepen it. We are going to do part 3. The part 3 is finance, because a lot of people are asking about the finance. When we discuss these things, people come up with can this thing be possible? Who will bring the finance for this? How can this be done? How can we source the finance? And the finance is always the major issue when you talk about any construction. If you don't get your finances in order, you cannot do any project. That's what it means. And remember, in part 1, we started with the people involved that will be involved in this: the landlords, the tenants, and the government, and other people. Because they are the ones that are living in these streets and the roads. We also discuss about the part 2, about the type of road and the timeline. We discussed that it should be a concrete road because of the peculiarity of our homeland. Now we are going to not waste much of your time. We are going to discuss about the finance, how to source the finance. That's when the government and these 3 groups will also get involved. The model of financing these projects, how it can be done, and how can it be sustainable, and how can it not be a burden to anybody. So that's what we are going to discuss about. You can see the road. This is inner city roads and inner street. You can see how it is. You can see how it is. You can see how it is. So that's what we are going to use. You can see there is a pedestrian walk. You can see that drainage are covered, and everywhere look neat, look brand new, and easy to maintain. Not expensive to maintain because no debris is falling into open drainages as we are practicing at this time. But we are going to continue discussing about this. You can see flowers everywhere, trees. You can see how it is. That's how it should be. And there is you see they put the signposts signifying the roads, the name of the street and the roads. You can see people can sit down on this and enjoy and have a nice drink or cup of tea or water, whatever, or juice. That's how it is. You can see how the roads are road markings, and they did the concrete first before the asphalt, before any other thing. So now we are going to discuss about how to finance this laudable idea, because every idea depends on the implementation, and money is one of the major pushers or major drivers or major force behind any project implementation of it. If there is no finance, if how to source the finance is not found, it will only remain a pipe dream, or somebody having a nightmare, I will say. But this will not be a nightmare. This road, as I was told, has been like this for almost 20-30 years with little maintenance. You can see how it is. You can see how it is. So that's what we are discussing. Our homeland must be better. So we are discussing how to build all our homeland roads, how to build all our city roads and streets in the in Anambra State, in our neighbor, in our homeland, in Nigeria. That's what we are discussing. And I would like you to like, I would like you to comment, I would like you to share this to your friends. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel, because it will help us in our march. It will help us in our march to chasing poverty away from the homeland, making our homeland a livable and a prosperous homeland, which will be the beauty to behold, which will bring in more investment and bring in jobs and make our homeland a livable and a prosperous homeland. So now let's quickly go to the discussion. But before we do, remember, I am Kodili-nye, the son of the wonderful. So the finance, there are many ways to do this. And it's, remember, we are working with a street or road that has 30 plots each in each of the left and right. That's meaning 60 in number. So we are working with that, so to make it easy for us. So now 60 plots. So first of all is to work out how much it will cost, the length of a flat or a plot for two people opposite one another to do. So once that thing is established, so they will now know the cost of materials and other things. But we are talking about finance. The finance, because these are made up of 3 groups of people, organization that can get involved in this. So number one is either the landlord deciding on his own to invest on doing in partnership with the other opposite landlord to do their own front according to the specification of 8 to 12 concrete inches concrete. So with the sidewalk and drainage system, or the tenants might get involved with the landlord by contribution and donations, or a pledge, or something like a levy that will be shared among the tenants and the landlord. The landlord taking the major money. Another way is for government. Like the government of Anambra State have a small business agency called ASBA. ASBA is called Anambra State Small Business Agency. So now the Anambra State government can also extend their role or incorporate infrastructure agency, financial agency or support agency that will be able to borrow money, that will be able to give loans to streets or landlords based on the construction. A particular amount of money, if its limit will be like 1 million or 1.5 million, to be repaid with like 2 to 3% within 2 years. So because within that duration they must repay with only 3%, 2 to 3% interest. So that's what they might need to do. Or the government can expand the role of ASBA, the small Anambra State Small Business Agency, to inculcate infrastructures in the city. So that can be done also by the Soludo administration in Anambra State or any other government in the homeland in our neighbor. They can do that, which will help to mobilize the finance that will be involved in this. So this is ways we can actually get the finance. Another way is government or the landlord association gathering together in that particular road or street to get the banks to negotiate directly with the banks to give them maybe each plot 2 million or 1.5 million each to each landlord, in order to help them, which can be repaired with a specific something like they can borrow in bulk and divide among themselves, or they can borrow individually, but with a lower percentage if the commercial banks can agree. But most of the time this one might be much expensive, but I do believe that that's one of the options. We have just discussed 3 or 4 options already. So I think this is a way also to do this, because this will, when they get the money and do this infrastructure, remember, it will suddenly push up the value of their property. If their property is worth 20 million, by the time they finish doing these roads and road infrastructure, the property that is 20 million will suddenly become 40 million. You can see, even if they spend 3 million or 4 million each, they have a surplus because their property value, and even the rentage will also go a bit high. So you can see that nothing is wasted. So whatever they invest, they will recoup immediately within 2 years. Within the time they are doing these things. So it's a win-win situation. So that's what we are discussing about. This nothing is lost, everything will be gained back. So there's nothing to worry about, because we can gain so much. We can develop our homeland. We can make it better than we found it. So that's what we are discussing about. Remember, we are discussing about how to finance this laudable project of how to build all our city roads and streets, city roads and streets. So in Anambra State and in our homeland, in Anibo, in Nigeria, that's how we are discussing about the financial options, because some people will be asking, how can you get the money? That the money is always the problem. How can we finance this laudable project? This is how we can get that. It's called Akuluno. Remember, we discussed about this one. Also, one person might decide to do this on his own or her own. Remember, we have men and women of timber and caliber, but we are doing it in a situation whereby each of the landlords are involved, and the tenants or the government. The government also can support to lessen the burden by also donating some money for each street. It might be between something like 500,000 or 1 million or 2 million or 5 million to help this project to move, or to say any landlord or any street that are going to do their own within 6 months, the government will donate 5 million to them or 10 million to them. So this will encourage them to do it before the deadline of that 1 year or 2 years. So this is what we need in the homeland: the economic competition and the economic expansion, and Akuluno, the wind, to sustain the wind of this Akuluno, and also to remove our people from the bondage of unemployment and hopelessness and the lack of opportunities into a prosperous and livable homeland. I do believe that you must have enjoyed this series, but you need to come to the comment section. Let it not be one man talking, but let us make it as a group chat. Let's continue discussing about this. Remember, their ideas matters, your opinion matters in all this. Suggest ways we can deepen this thing up deepen it, and help our homeland to be livable and prosperous. Remember, I am Kodili-nye, the son of Wonderful. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. Remember to share. Remember to subscribe if you have not subscribed to this video. Thank you. This is part 3 of this series on how to build all our city roads and streets, road infrastructure in Anambra State and in Igbo, in our homeland. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video. I am still Kodili-nye. See you and have a wonderful time. Bye.